Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. And so for quite some time, you guys out there have been trying to get me to try Krita. And most of you know that I'm a staunch Photoshop guy. I've been drawing and painting in Photoshop for years now. And once I find something I like, I just kind of stick with it. But I thought today would be kind of fun to do a video because I know so many of you out there use Krita. I thought I would download it and just open it up on camera and use it for the first time. I've never opened it. I just downloaded it. I just put it in my dock, and I thought, why not just give it a try, and you guys can watch. So I've got it right here. I'm going to open it. We got Krita, all right, and we're going to do some drawing. It's going to be some fun. All right, let me see how this works. New file. I'm going to click a new file. Pixels, I'm going to go by inches because I'm used to inches. 9 inches by 12 inches. That's what I want. 9 inches by 12 inches. Create. Bingo! Look at that. So we have an image. Let me see how this works. I want to get, there's layers. Okay, there's the layer styles. You can lock layers. This is pretty close to, there's all the different brushes. I'm not sure of these icons, but I can tell what the brush is, so that's kind of cool. And there's a paint bucket. I can do that. This all looks pretty. There's opacity, size. Well, it looks pretty straightforward. Why don't we just start drawing? I've got on Photoshop, I pulled up this guy right here. This is some reference that I want to use of a lioness that my son shot in Africa, photographed. I shouldn't say shot, but yeah, photographed. And I'm just using that as some reference, and I just thought it might be kind of fun. I'm going to come over here. Let me see what they've got for tools here. I want something that's going to have a gradiated tone and maybe a pencil texture. What does this look like? That's kind of cool. Look at that. I like that. Let's go. Oh, opacity is only 15%. Wow. Let me try something a little different. Maybe a little lighter. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So let's do, and Control Z. So all the short stops are the same, or shortcuts, short stops. Okay, so let's start drawing. So I've got a lioness here. I've got a separate layer from my background. Always start with a separate layer from your background. Don't start drawing on your background. And I can see on Krita, it locks the background. So that's kind of cool. You can't really draw on your background. That's neat. So I just thought we could kind of have some fun here. And I'm going to draw really fast. I want to make this quick just to see if some old dog like myself can learn some new tricks. All you young folks out there have been trying to get me to try this. And it's free, which is really cool. That's pretty cool. I'm not used to seeing free stuff like that. I'm always touting, you got to pay for your stuff, all that, but this is free. But they do take donations, which I think is cool and will support. But yeah, I'm just drawing this. This is from photo reference that we shot while in Africa back in October. I like the lighting on it. It's really beautiful. Let's see here. Look at that, the eraser works. I'm using, my tablet that I'm using is a Cintiq, Wacom Cintiq 32 Pro. So it's a big screen, really big screen. So when I first start doing a drawing like this, I go in really loose, like what you can see me doing now, and just loosely sketch in my subject matter. Thinking about that structure, the bone structure. You know, I've got lots of, as you know, I teach a lot of animal anatomy and animal drawing, and digital drawing and painting in Photoshop. But I might have to do something in Krita now because this is pretty darn nice. But over my website, creatureartteacher.com. Wow, I like this. The brush is so nice. Krita. There we go. Yeah, it draws really nice. Just like a pencil. Just like a pencil. It looks like I'm going to be able to use my regular digital drawing and painting techniques in this because it's got, you know, different blend modes for the layers, which is what I use. I use multiply and overlay, and I'm sure those are in there. But once again, I've never used it before. This is my first time using Krita. I'm on my Cintiq, so I've got familiarity there. So far, it's an awesome experience. It's super smooth, no lag at all. Okay, there's our lioness there. Lioness. There, she's turning her head towards us. Here we go. If you like this kind of thing, I do a live stream every Friday. We're going to be doing some more live streaming this coming Friday. Got a few announcements, some cool stuff coming up. Boy, man, I love this. This software is nice. Krita, huh? Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk? This is cool, cool stuff. Move her up. How do we move a layer? Where is that? Is it here? Here it is. Take a guess. There you go. Let's, how do I resize it? Maybe this one? Are you kidding me? First try. There it is. Bingo, bango, bongo. I'm going to go ahead and crop it. There's the crop tool. Man, so intuitive. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it. All right, so go back to here. So, yes, this is an African lion we photographed while we were in Kenya back in October. That was our latest trip. I've been to Africa 4 times. It's one of my favorite places in the world to go. Love this. Okay, so I've got a loose drawing in here. I think this is good enough to use as our basis for our local color. Let me get a little bit more of the markings in here. Oh yeah, I want to get the, let me get the muzzle laid in there better. There. Look at that. Boy, I can, keeping it loose, keeping it quick, keeping it spontaneous. It helps having a big screen tablet like this. Pen display. Very much helps. There we go. Krita. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Now I want to get a layer underneath this. So all I can assume is I'll highlight the background layer and create a new layer. And there, I've got a layer under my drawing layer right now. And I want to grab a nice big brush. Let me see, what do we got? We got like markers. What do we got here? Got a whole bunch to choose from. Ooh, pastel. Let me try that. I like pastel. So let me grab a color. I want to get local color. No, don't want that. I wanted this. Well, actually, can I choose different different types of? Oh, there we go. Let me try that one. Oops. Move that over there. So I'm used to more of a Photoshop type interface. Man, I like this interface. Go a little bigger on the brush. Ooh, look at that. So what I'm doing is I'm just laying in some local color. And I'm just going to lay down the whole thing. And it's almost like if you've ever used Painter before, this has got kind of a Painter feel to it. Oh man, look at that nice pastel-y feel there. Pastel-y. Man, I dig this. Yeah, this is very similar to Painter to me. And the shortcuts are the same. I'm using my brackets to make the brush bigger or smaller. So I'm just laying in kind of a big silhouette. And I love this, how it just fades out. That nice texture. What a nice brush. This pastel brush. Super, super cool. So come down here, we're getting a nice silhouette. There, now I wonder if I can lock it. Let me go to that layer. Let me see, can I alpha lock it? Yeah, I think I just did that. I think that's what that means. Let me see if I've just alpha locked it. So I'm gonna go and grab some other colors here and go a little lighter. I'm going to pull the opacity back to like 71%. I just want to change up. Actually, I want to go even brighter with it. And this is a really cool brush. Look at that texture. So nice. So what I've done is I've alpha locked the layer so I can't draw outside the layer. I can't draw outside the pixels that have already been colored. So all I'm doing really is just drawing variations in the fur tones. Then we'll paint the shadows separately. It's a kind of an easy way of thinking. You know, you can break up your thinking a little more easily by, you know, you can think about just your local color, which is what I'm creating. Local color is the color of an object when it's not in shadow and it's not lit. It's just that's the local color. It's like a red apple or a green shirt. And so in this case we have, you know, different variations in the fur tones. So I'm just very lightly kind of laying in her tones. There we go. Let's go a little brighter on that fur over here. That orangey ear fur. So just a few different variations. And the fur up here. I think I'm going to throw some color into the background pretty quickly here as well. There we go. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's create a new layer right there. I love this brush, so I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to make it really big, and I'm going to grab kind of a warm green, make it a little darker. So when you make it big, you're getting I'm getting a little, I'm sure there's ways of adjusting the brush, going into the brush presets. Oh, there they are. Okay, there's the brush presets. Okay. Well, for right now, I just wanted to show you, I'm just using regular brushes provided by Krita, which I find awesome. They're super cool. Yeah, this is a pretty darn cool brush. Love this texture. It really feels like pastel, chalk, which is my favorite kind of, that kind of gritty surface that you get. There we go. This is just using the pastel brush. Just coming kind of building up the background color layer. There we go. Just a whole bunch of different greens and just building it up. Trying some different color. All right, let's go back to our lioness layer. And I want to get a little bit of, gotta go way smaller on that brush. Get some variation of color. There we go. Yeah, some nice variation of color here. Go a little grayer on some of these nose patches. You know, the color of a lioness's fur can really vary from, you know, really warm color to really gray. Let me get that nose. There we go. I'm going to try to get, I'm going to try a more tapered kind of brush. What is this? Not quite sure what I'm doing here. That doesn't really lighten up, does it? Let me try some different brushes here. Let me try, kind of like this. Let me try this. Let's see what these do. Let me go into here. Well, that's interesting. That's nice. Doesn't taper though, does it? Is there a way to make them taper? There's got to be a way to make them taper. Let me try this brush. No, that doesn't have I want it to have pressure opacity sensitivity. Oh, there's even watercolor. Wet bristles rough. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's try the marker. Well, the marker doesn't. Let me try this grease pencil. Oh, I like that. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for all along. There, now I can get some nice detail in here. In the local color. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice brush. Right there. I dig it. I dig it. Get those amber eyes. There, now let's go dark. Dark, dark for around the eyes. Yep, this is the one. This is the brush. I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I want to get in here. Let me turn off the alpha lock. There, that feels good. Here we go, give her some pupils. So here I'm just drawing variations in fur color. There we go. The backs of a lion's ears are dark with a dark spot. I mean a light spot, not a dark spot, a light spot. There, that's more like it, more like from there. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, lions have, believe it or not, lions have spots on them. A lot of people don't realize that. They just think they're brown cats, but they actually have spots down around their legs and belly. So I'm just lightly laying in some of the spots here. Yeah, they're a little bit like leopard spots, especially around the belly, like little rosettes. If you've never been to Africa, and you're really into wildlife, and I really recommend figuring out a way to get there and doing it. It's very safe. It's wonderful. The people, where we've gone, it's been very safe. And I love Nairobi. We fly into Nairobi. This is Kenya. We go into Nairobi and we go out to the Masai Mara and we photograph and draw and sketch and all kinds of stuff. And so I love it. Absolutely love it. Every time I go, when it's time to leave, I'm always trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to get back. I always leave my heart there. Just laying in some more of the white belly. Varying up. Once again, I'm not drawing any light and shadow yet. All I'm doing is local color. I'm going to go ahead and lock that again. There. So you can see, it's not bad. We've got some nice color in here. It's coming together. The lioness is coming together nicely, but we need shadow, right? We need some shadow in here to help define the form. And so that's where it's really gonna pop. Getting some of that shadow in here, and so why don't we do that? Why don't we jump in here and we'll get some shadow. So I'm going to create a layer on top. Let's see, there's our drawing layer. I'm going to put a layer right on top of that, and I'm going to set it to multiply. There it is. And I'm going to get kind of a warm mid-tone right in here. And wonder what I can do here. Thumbnail size, okay. I was wondering if I could create a clipping mask, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start painting in where the shadows are gonna go. And then we're gonna create a light layer. This is pretty cool because I'm actually able to get really subtle with this. Wow. So this is all in shadow right here. There's our ear coming up. So I'm using the multiply blend mode to create a shadow right over the top of our cat. Wow, okay. This is nice. This is actually really kind of cool. I love these brushes. All the brushes I use are my own personal brushes that I've created when I work in Photoshop, and man, I think I like these better. Once again, if you're interested in some animal drawing lecturing, I teach animal drawing. I also teach animation. I was with Disney for 25 years or 21 years. I was with Disney. I worked on films like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Pocahontas and Mulan. And I directed Brother Bear. And so I have a lot of animal drawing experience. And so if that's something you might be interested in, go on over to my website, creatureartteacher.com, and check out, all the lessons that I have over there. That's creatureartteacher.com. All right, so look at that. Look at how that shadow's working. That is sweet. Oh, yeah. Boy, I like that. So I'm going really big with the brush right now. I want to push that value, the value darker. Value is lightness and darkness. When you refer to the value of something in art, you're referring to its light or dark. If it's a dark value or a light value. And so what I'm trying to do now is I'm paying attention to the values, the light and the dark, to make sure that it's reading as best it can. There we go. Krita, huh? Krita. You guys, it's so funny. You guys have been wanting me to do this for so long, and I've just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and man, I'm so happy I've tried it. This is really a really cool software. I can understand why people have been recommending it. And this is my very first time using it. I've never used it. The interface, if you've done digital drawing and painting before, the interface is really intuitive. I've been a Photoshop guy for almost 20 years, and so this was completely intuitive coming over to this. I didn't have any trouble. I knew exactly where everything was. It just works. This is super cool, you guys. Super cool. I love it. So there, look at that shadow. Man, isn't that nice? Really cool. Let's put another layer on top of that, and let's put that layer to, let's see, where's the overlay? Oh, right there. It's right underneath it. And I'm going to get a bright value on that. Bright, warm value. And I'm just going to come in here and hit some of these highlights. I don't want it to be so yellow. I want it to be a little, there we go. Still don't want it to be that yellow. Okay, let's try it again. That's still a little yellow, but we'll roll with it. So what I'm doing with overlay, it brightens. See, multiply is literally multiplying with the layer underneath, so you get a darker value. But with overlay, it lightens. And so you get something that's a little brighter. So it creates this illusion of light. Let there be light. See that? It feels like light on his face, or on his face, on her face. And I like leaving the pencil lines in there. Here we go. There. Look at that. Boy, it's coming together fast. Oh, I'm going to jump back to my shadow layer. And I'm going to go a little darker. I didn't do the insides of the ears here. I'm going to create a new layer on top. I'm going to set that to multiply. And I'm going to do it again. So I can go deeper, darker with some of these shadows, like in the eyes. Dark, dark, dark in the eyes. There you go. Inside the mouth, I'm going to get that darker. Get a little bit of markings around the eyes. There we go. Maybe define some of these little shadow areas around on the side of the face a little bit more. There we go. There we go. That all feels pretty good. Look at that. Let me blow that up a little bit for you. Oh, no, that's not what I want. There. Wonder. No, I'm just going to leave it. I was gonna lighten up my the brush, but I think I'm going to or the drawing layer. But now I'm going to. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer on top. Well, actually, let's stick with continuing with some of these darker shadow lines first. There we go. That all feels good. I like it. Go a little darker even still with some of the shadow in the eyes. That feels good right there. Some little bit darker markings on the nose. Darker still inside the mouth. Get some of the markings on the whiskers. So I'm just adding little bits of texture here and there, fur texture. Making it a little sketchy. But I'm going to put a layer on top now, and I'm going to grab, I do want to grab a brush. I'm going to grab this paintbrush, see what that does. And I'm going to keep it just a normal blend layer. And we're just going to draw right over the top. And I'm going to get some really bright color. There we go. Draw some whiskers in, coming in like that. This is just adding little bits of little details here and there Really getting in with that white to add the highlights where they're needed. This is just kind of the finishing touches of this sketch. Yeah, so I think my over resounding approval. I mean, I just love approval. I sound like an idiot. I love Krita. It's really cool. And the fact that it's free just blows my mind. So all you people that have been trying to get me to use it, thank you. Thank you for getting me to use it. I love it. I'll go back and forth between this and Photoshop quite a bit, I think. Like I said, go to my website, creatureartteacher.com, and check out more of my lessons. I got animal drawing, I've got animation, I've got all kinds of stuff. I'm going to add some little glistening on the cheek, on these lips, little bits of glistening light. Let's see here. Let's go a little brighter. Let's go in there. All right. I was trying to use the space bar to grab it and move it, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. It was doing it earlier, so doing something wrong here. There we go. I can't seem to get it to move. I'm trying to move it on the background, but it won't do it. Just move the document, you know. I can do it that way, I guess. I'd like to use the shortcut. So I'm just adding some details with this brush, some fur details in here. Nice. So now what I want to do is I want to go in and I'm going to grab my ink dropper. I want to grab kind of this local color, but then go a little brighter and grayer with it. And go back to my brush, and I want to go in and just go into some of these areas in the shadows and create. Maybe go a little brighter. Some kind of cooler reflected light. There we go. Keeping it really simple. There we go. Once again, this is my first time using Krita. And I gotta say, boy, I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's awesome. So I'm trying to stay as loose as possible. Go a little cooler with that. I want to get kind of a rim lighting effect on here. I'm going to go a little brighter with some of this. There, that feels good. So I'm just painting opaque now, right over the pencil lines. The original drawing lines. I'm going to go kind of into the blue range now. Just kind of throw a little bit of blue into some of these areas that are in shadow. Just to cool them off a little bit. Some of these light areas that are in shadow. Just kind of cross-hatching and just cooling them off just a touch. What it does is it kind of rounds out the hue structure. So what I used on this, I used that the pastel brush initially to lay in the local color, the local textures. And it has a really nice, a very nice texture to it. I loved it. I turn off that drawing layer, you can see we've got the paint here, which is nice. I'm going to turn that back on, and I'm going to go to our drawing layer, and I just want to clean up some of the line work a little bit. Or maybe we don't need it. I want to go back and let's add another layer. I'm going to set it to multiply again because I want to get a little darker, a little bit darker in some of our areas here. I'm going to go back to my grease pencil, my China marker. So I'm just adding some more detail and value in her body. You guys know I love to draw lions, and this was pretty cool. There's filters too, huh? Okay. Wonder if I can go in here and blur that background. I'm going to go to my paint layer in the background, and I'm going to go to filter, blur. Look at that, Gaussian blur. Let me push it a little more. Look at that. Hey, I love it. Okay. So that feels pretty cool. Let me go back to my paint layer. And I love using new software and just discovering, and this is fun. This is for sure a joy, I'll tell you. There we go. All right, I'm kind of digging that. That all feels pretty good. I think I want to do, let me go back to my layer up here. Just a little bit more texture in the fur. There we go. That's good. Just hitting some of these areas a little darker. There, that feels good. All right, so we just have a couple more details to do. I want to get some grasses in here. So let's put a layer on top. And I want to grab, let's just grab that paintbrush that we just had earlier. Actually, maybe I can use this one. Let's try this one, see what it looks like. Let's see, let's go small and like that. Nope, 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 nope. Don't like it. That brush is not right for what we've created. We needed a similar brush. Let's see here. Let's try this one. There we go. This brush I like. Keep the grasses nice and simple. Keep them really spontaneous. Grass gets bent over. You get little pieces that come off on the stalks. And trust me, grass is different all over the world too. And so, you know, I make sure to look at the grasses in Africa, photograph the grasses while I'm in Africa, so I can get those in my head. See how they grow, see how they look. There we go. See, it's these little touches here that really set an environment, you know. This is more of a portrait than anything, but you get the right little environmental touches, and that really can set it off really nice. So I want to put a layer under our character layer and in front of the background layer and do some more grasses. But this time we're going to blur them. So I'm going to lay them in, but we're going to blur them. Don't like that one. So let's go up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And just push those back, blur them a little more. There, that gives it a little more depth, okay. Then our layer, is it this layer? Yeah, this layer on top. I want to go ahead and lock it. And then I want to grab some really bright color. And just hit some spots here and there. Just to vary up the value. Feels good. Do the same thing with the layer in the background. I'm going to lock it. There, that just gives it a little bit more variation. There, we've got a little lioness right here. Let me come up here, and just as a final little howdy-do, I want to go ahead and do a little bit of rendering right there. Let me grab the color and go a little lighter with it. Let me go back to my paintbrush. On the wrong layer there. This one, that's the one I want. It's okay. No problem. There we go. And then our final little touch. We have two final touches. I want to get rid of some of these lines down here. Like that. And then our final touch is I want to get the whiskers in here. Some nice whiskers. There we go. There's that. And let's go really bright. And we'll jump over this side. There we go. And some nice whiskers up there on the eyes. A little bit more on the chest. Just some final little touches there, just to give it a little texture. So let's blow this up and do a little pan and scan. So there it is. It's pretty loose, but that's my style. I really enjoyed working in this in Krita for my first time. It was an absolute joy. The brushes are awesome. If you've never used Krita and you want to find some, if you want something cheap and you just want to experiment with digital painting, look it up. It's Krita, and it's a really wonderful software, and I recommend it. There we go. Boom! Look at that. So there it is. Only thing left to do now is to sign away. Let's see. I'll just sign it right down here. I'm going to grab this color, go a little darker with it, and let's move it up here. I'm on the wrong layer. I got to create a new layer right up on top. There we go. There it is. 2022. There it is, Krita. My first Krita painting. Very first one. That was a lot of fun. So there you go. That was my first try ever using Krita, and I really loved it. I really recommend it. Go on out there, give it a shot. And I'm going to keep experimenting with it, and we'll do some more videos like this. But until then, go on out and put some beauty back into the world, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.